Hey guys, Blessing here. How is everybody? Good day to you all. This is a live stream. Welcome to everybody. I am going to wait a few seconds for people to join. Oh, everyone is fine. Go ahead and share if you're here already. Let's try do this quickly. There is a new development. It's been a while though. $5,000. Can Korra Obidi still be trusted? And I also said on Facebook that I am beginning to look at Korra with one left eye. And when an African says that, it basically means, Well, we're going to talk about all of that. I'm going to wait a few more seconds for people to tune in. Someone already says never. Okay, we are going to analyze. So this is BLESSINGNJOH, the analyst. We are not just blogging, we are properly going in depth. We are going to be listening to some clips. We are going to be listening to Korra speak. We are also going to be listening to Justin. It's all about getting both sides of the story. And before I really go into this, I want to quickly say, Korra came up with this story yesterday. And people went crazy with the news. People went agog. I just want to say to all of you, especially bloggers, look, if you're a fan and you're sentimental about all of this and you go attack Justin, I'm not saying it's right, but I can at least maybe understand you a bit. But if you're a blogger and you're not just a blogger, you didn't just blog it, but you just went and started to attack Justin based on what Korra said, I think you should kind of like revisit the purpose of wanting to analyze, because a lot of people are now using the term analyze. Let us analyze. And not everybody is cut out for analysis. That's why I always advise it's not by force to do the things that you're not capable of doing. Stick to blogging. But when you want to analyze something, make sure you get both sides of the story. So for everyone who rushed out to attack Justin without getting his own side, you guys take a chill pill, especially those, social media people. I'm not talking about normal viewers, commenters, fans. I'm talking about people who do this business that we are in, talking about celebs, entertainment, gossip, and all of that. You don't go out there calling a man a thief because the estranged wife has come out to accuse him of stealing. You have to be careful with your words and how you put your titles and your topics. It just doesn't come up as professional. You don't look professional when you just start saying, oh, Dr. Justin didn't go and return the money you stole, and you call yourself a professional media practitioner. Check yourself again. That's not the way to do things. So when Korra went out with this news yesterday, I took my time. I watched her videos, because she has done 2 so far. But I didn't want to do anything until, after hearing from Justin. And now we have heard from him. Let me quickly share myself out on Facebook, and then I'm going to play a few clips. And those are the clips that we are going to analyze right away. I want to ask you all to go ahead and share as well. In the meantime, share while I also share myself. Let me see, where is that my group? Okay, let's just start to watch, and then after watching one clip, then I'll go back and share. Destroy you, kick you on the floor. Kick you on the floor. I was trying to pay my rent in peace. I sent money to my joint accounts. Woke up in the morning and it's gone.
It disappeared. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to say anything. But it's me that's using somebody. It's me. Let me keep quiet. Let me keep quiet. Let me keep quiet. God will fight for me and I'll hold my peace. I'm not going to come here and cry. I'm not going to come here and do anything.
So when she did this first video, she wasn't intending to go all out. I think it was later that people coerced her, like, you're not going to let this slide again. You know? But let's just watch. This is the first one she did before she came out the second time to threaten him that she was going to come out and expose him for who he really is.
Just watch. Just watch. Because we're not living by ourselves. We're not living by ourselves. There must be a breakthrough coming because the rate at which things are happening, crazy things are happening. Crazy things are happening. You guys have been on this journey with me since the beginning. You know where I started. You know my story. The devil is being manifested in people right now. The devil is being manifested in people. I woke up this morning. Money for my rent has disappeared from the joint account that I mistakenly sent.
How do you even mistakenly send money to an account you haven't been using for 3 months, I believe? Well, and mistakes can happen, but I don't know. I mean, you're transferring money into a joint account rather than transfer it to your landlord or something. Yeah, I know mistakes can happen, like I said, but
I start to talk to say the first thing she does is go on social media. I don't go on social media. But I'm just a woman who gave birth and is trying to breathe. I'm drowning and I'm trying to breathe. I'm drowning and I'm trying to breathe. I'm not gonna let anyone take my joy. I have girls to take care of. I have souls to feed. I cannot afford to be rich. No?
I saw a comment somewhere and someone said, oh, Korra is so money hungry. She's she's such a lover of money. All this while she has not wanted to talk about her divorce or about Justin, and all of a sudden money is involved and now she's rushing out to cry to really talk. What is her hunger for money? So I saw that comment and I just want to say this, not just in her defense or whatsoever, but I just want to say, like, maybe it's because she has already gone through so much that she feels like this again, on top of everything I've gone through. Sometimes you just reach that breaking point. You're like, I can't continue to keep quiet. $5,000 now. What is going to be the next one? Will I continue like this? So I'm just trying to answer that commenter. If you ever get to bump into this video, sometimes it just happens that you just have to speak, and it might involve money, it might involve abuse, it might involve something else, but something has to be involved before you speak, before you finally hit that point. You just tell yourself, okay, it's now. Okay, let's continue to hear.
Nobody's gonna take my choice. Look at us. But at the end of the day, if anything happens to us, it's up to me. It's up to me. Don't use that joint account. Open your own. It was a mistake, oh my sisters. I did not know that it was a huge mistake. Now the money has disappeared.
Okay, someone says the money was in her PayPal account. So $5,000 was in a PayPal account, and she was transferring it to her other account. Okay, and the joint account is linked to her account, and she mistakenly pressed her joint account button. Okay, thank you for that.
Money has disappeared.
Hi, Mommy. What are you doing, Mommy?
I did my makeup.
Her makeup?
Yes.
Oh, wow. What's so many makeups? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, let me see if I can fast forward.
You shouldn't touch my makeup, okay?
Please, Mom.
Many things on my mind that I want to say. So many things that I want to say. Keep quiet.
So at this point, she was still saying, I'll keep quiet, I'll keep my peace, and let the Lord fight for me. And she kept on saying all these cryptic things that we fully didn't understand initially.
Oh, yeah, I just have to say, I think that people really don't eat homeless on the street. I think
So people, in other words, Justin just wants me to be homeless in the street, for him to have stolen allegedly my house
at
rent.
this point it's theft. Theft. It's stealing. It's theft. It's theft. It shouldn't be legal. This is America. It should not be legal for someone to.
So here is where I think I'm going to begin my analysis. For Korra to have come out to start to accuse Justin of theft, that is quite a serious accusation. Yeah. So for you to have fully, confidently come out to say, I have been stolen from, the father of Marquis has stolen from me, that is theft, that is stealing. For you to be doing this, I would imagine, give me a sec. Okay, I think I have to. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Please comment yes if you can hear me. Comment yes. If you can hear me before we continue. Comment yes. Trying to plug my devices. Can everyone hear me? Okay, so I'm thinking, what did Justin tell you before you came on social media to tell the world that the father of your kids is allegedly a thief? Can you guys hear me? Okay, yes, someone, I see a yes already. Because she sat down there and she didn't tell us what Justin said after she asked him to return the money. So okay, wait, I'm just going to continue to play and then, but I find it a bit questionable that we didn't get to hear Justin's response when she asked him the money.
I'll take my business to God and to the appropriate authorities. I will not come on social media and air my dirty linen. But just know, guys, that it's not easy right now in your girls' camp. It's not easy. And maybe sharing my difficulties with you right now will make me feel like I can do this, but it's not easy right now. It's not. I'm going through it. I'm going through it. Like, I'm not gonna hide it from you. I am going through it right now. Like, yeah, it's hot, and the universe is giving it to me hot. And I just want you guys to know. Thank you, Jealous. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Jealous. Love you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. The universe is giving it to me hot. Korra, get him off all of your accounts. That's not how it works, honey. I wish that was how it worked. That's not how it works. I'm taking care of these children. Never ask for a dime.
Okay, and also she kept saying, I never asked for a dime, you know, I'm doing it all by myself. But is it like, why? For me, she's saying all of that for people to look at Justin like a deadbeat dad. It's your choice, because I don't think you ever asked him for something and he would say, no, I'm not going to give you. Or I need help with the kids. And he's going to say, no, I'm not going to assist you financially. So it's your choice. So you saying that the whole time or repeatedly is going to give off the impression that, oh, he's not stepping up. He's not doing what he's supposed to do as a dad. You have chosen to do it all by yourself. You are not asking for a dime doesn't mean that he probably would not be willing to assist you financially if you asked for. So it's your choice, but please be careful with the way it's sounding, because a lot of people will run off with it like, oh, you're not helping your kids, you're not, you're not there financially for your kids. They're going to just do that to him. So let's be careful, especially when the parents of our kids are involved.
Never ask for a dime. Giving them the best that I can every day. Just to wake up. Just to wake up to this. Yes, I'm being very cryptic because I don't want this to be another headliner. Like, I'm tired of the drama.
Okay, she doesn't want this to be another headliner, but then a few hours later, she came back and she was like, I'm ready for it to be a headliner. I'm ready to talk. I don't care. After all, he has already rubbished my image. Now let's drag each other. So there was a switch somewhere. Who told her into talking? The nanny? Let's listen further.
I'm also tired, I'm very tired. I'm tired.
Someone says, Blessing, play the last video you went. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to play it, definitely. But I just want us to like start from the beginning to carry people along for us to know where we are heading to. I'm going to play it.
But when somebody is doing you, and you are keeping quiet in the name of my children, and the person is taking advantage of your silence.
Someone says, but must she ask before Justin gives? She doesn't necessarily have to ask. I mean, Justin can also say, oh, do you need help with something? Can I help with something or whatsoever? But the impression I'm getting from Korra, the vibe I'm getting from her is she has told, I don't need you for now. I can do it all by myself. That is the message, the unspoken message I'm getting from her. I don't think she's sitting here saying, oh my God, he's not helping me. He doesn't want to help. No, she's saying, I am doing it by myself. This is my choice. So I don't know if you get the difference. So it's not like he has to wait for her to ask, but she doesn't want to ask. And I don't think she needs him to spring in. You understand? Hi, Regina. Welcome. Okay, someone else says, I don't know if it's the same person, must she ask? But to be honest, I already said it, but another thing is, if it wasn't Korra, if it was someone else in the suburbs, just a regular, not working mom somewhere, I would understand that, he has to really, really step up his game 100. But even if Justin doesn't give anything, even if nobody gives Korra stars, those children will not go hungry. Let's be honest. They are already well taken care of. It's not like a poor single mom somewhere that will just be like, no, Justin, you can't be letting those children suffer like that. They are not suffering. So it's a totally different ball game. They are not just regular people, if that makes sense. You understand? So how much would you want Justin to give her? I don't know. It's a bit complex. I don't know if you guys like understand a bit of what I'm saying, but yeah.
I'm just trying to survive. Literally. I had a baby 2 months ago. Trying to survive. Just trying to survive, basically. Just trying to survive. This world is not easy for anybody, and I'm not special in any way. So when life gives me my own lemons, I have to pout and eat my lemons with pride. But when someone is taking advantage of your grace, taking advantage of the fact that you have a brand, you're not going to do anything to jeopardize your brand. They're stealing from you and your children. Stealing.
But for you to say he's stealing, did he tell you, yes, I took the money, do what you want to do? What did he say when you told him, can you refund the money? For you to, before I will come out and call someone a thief, the person must have proven to me that, yes, I'm stealing from you. Do you have proof that he actually intentionally stole from you before you came out to label him a thief? That is the question, because she's not bringing out this, this conversation for us to really see if or not Justin had the intention to steal from her. And it's similar to what happened with the Jamaican vendor, the lady who contracted her for 2,000. She came out and said, this woman has scammed me. But she's not saying exactly what the woman said to her. She's saying, yeah, the woman told me this. But what did you say to the woman? The woman's account of the story tells everyone that you were rude. But your account of the story is just totally different. But we are not seeing proof. You understand? You can say it verbally and say, oh yeah, and then I told her it was 2,000, and then she told me, yeah, you have to do this. But how are we sure that is how the conversation went? Because you are saying it from your own, to favor you, for us to see that woman as the bad one, which I'm not saying you are the bad one, but that is your own narrative. On social media nowadays, people want to see proof for us to really be able to judge for ourselves that, yes, this person stole from you or this person scammed you. You can come and narrate a story from the way you are feeling emotionally, from your own state of mind, for us to just see the other person as the bad one. It's time you start coming forward with proof. Honestly, the same way your friends came out with proof the other day when Justin was saying all the nasty things he said. That was, kudos. Kudos. Justin had nothing to say on top of that because that was hard proof right there. So we should get past this. Oh, and then I told him to refund the money, and then he told me I should pay in gold. So that means he's a thief. I didn't even understand what he meant. You don't understand what he meant by you should pay in gold, calling him a thief. Why didn't you try to understand what he meant before concluding that he wanted to steal from you, if that makes sense? We are still heading somewhere.
The money that was stolen is not small. I don't have luxury of that money.
Here is another thing. I've heard this so many times. I don't have the luxury. I don't have the luxury. I don't have the luxury. Sis, sis, you're not the only one operating a Facebook page. Do you understand? I do understand you. Look, I'm just going to tell you, I'm not on your side. I'm not on Justin's side. I'm just a pure analyst, just analyzing based on the words of your own mouth and based on the words of Justin's mouth. Every single time you be like, I don't have the luxury of this, I don't have the luxury of that. And I personally, and I just believe that's the way it is, I think you are trying really hard to make people believe that you're not doing too well financially, which is not the case, sis. A lot of us operate social media accounts. We know how much comes in. Many of the people who talk about your divorce with Justin don't even have 10% of the amount of followers you have. 10, sorry. What is 10% of 5 million? Do you understand? And we know how much comes in. And we are not crying about, stuff like financial things. And I do understand you're a single mom and all of that. But I think it's getting a little too much. Trying to make people just look at you like you're poor, knowing fully well that your follower base, the number of followers you have, we're not even looking at the stars you get. We're not looking at your music, how many downloads, how much people pay for each download. We are not talking about the deals, the influencer deals you've done that people have paid you $1,000 per post for. We are not talking about the stars people purchase on your lives. When you do a live video on Facebook, you get approximately 1 million views. Sis, a lot of us, a lot of other bloggers, analysts that talk about you hardly get 100,000 views. And we know how much we cash in. How much more? 1 million views per video. And some days you go live twice, sometimes 3. So that would be on average 2 to 3 million views. So this cry about, I don't have the luxury, I don't have the luxury, I don't have the luxury. Look, nobody should steal from anybody. I was in a position some years ago, I was earning 3,400 euros per month, but I had a conflict with a company I bought something for my kids, 20 euros. I fought for that money. So it's a thing of principle. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, you're earning so much, so you shouldn't fight for your money. Even if Justin steals $1 from you, you have every right to fight for it. That's not what we're talking about. It's just about the impression you're trying to give off. I think it's a little dishonest. Talking about luxury, a lot of people would kill to have your social media career. They might not kill to have your life right now, but your social media, if you could transfer your page to them, your viewership to them, they wouldn't complain a thing. So you're always saying luxury, I don't have the luxury, I don't have. Sis, it's a little, I think I would advise you tone it down a bit because talking about luxury, okay, let's move on.
I'm bleeding money. Someone is somewhere just transferring money willy-nilly to wherever. Because you're trying to be graceful. You're trying to not make a scene. You're trying to keep quiet. You're trying to keep quiet and make this die. Somebody is there saying this will not die and stealing from you. Because of the brand. Because of brand.
Okay, someone asks again. So, Blessing, if you were to be a single mother, the father of your kids will not support you in taking care of them. He should support in taking care. But if I, as the woman, say, Oga, I don't need you to take care of my kids. I can do it all by myself. I'm a strong woman. I'm not going to ask you for a dime. Then you cannot kill the man now. You understand? If the woman is giving off that impression, you cannot blame that man. You get what I'm saying? So that's the whole point here. The man should do it. And if the court orders him to do it, I don't think he's going to refuse. It's going to be his responsibility. But for now, it looks like, I cannot say for sure, it looks like Korra is even earning much more than Justin. So how much would Justin now be giving Korra that will now change the lives of how she's taking care of her kids? If she needs help, or if she has ever needed financial support and Justin has refused to do it, then we can start talking. But she is there saying, look, I've never asked for a dime. Possibly because she doesn't want to ask him. She doesn't need him to do it for her. So you guys should be a bit fair in your judgment, yeah?
Lord will fight for me and I'll hold him. Lord will fight for me and I'll hold him.
Okay, someone also says, I mean, she hasn't said much bad about him. So for her to say that, I don't know. Yes, that's true. She hasn't really been, doing all of that negative talk about him. To be honest, she hasn't. So for her to now come out to say that he stole from her, there should be something behind it. Look, there are two things. It could be that he truly did it and he just bullshitted her and told her, look, whatever, you have to pay me back. Yes, I took the money and you have to pay me back. But we have to see proof to that if that was his answer. And another thing could be she just rushed out without really understanding whether he made a mistake or what really happened. Two things that we don't know yet, and we cannot jump into conclusions about it yet. But I'm suspecting those two directions. Either he really made it clear to her that, yes, I have the right to take that money because I have spent so much on you for so many years, or she didn't even have that patience enough to hear his side or to hear from him before she rushed out to call him a thief. Until we see proof from her angle or from his angle, maybe of their conversation, because she said she contacted him, then we can know who to call a thief. But for now, I don't think it's right for any of us, anybody, to call him a thief. For now, she can call him a thief because that is the way she feels about it, but there is no proof to that. That is how, and I'm not calling her a liar. You guys should not get me wrong, but I'm just saying we should all be careful. This is a man and his ex-wife. This is a woman and her ex, or soon to be ex. There are emotions involved. There are angers, hatred, whatever. So people can talk out of emotion. Look, I'm not calling this lady a liar. I'm not saying, she's not honest with her, with what she's going through or whatsoever. But we, the spectators, let's be careful because we are not there with them. We don't know for sure unless they start to bring out proof to say, look at the message I sent him. Look at what he told me. Then we can say, okay, truly he stole. But for now, let's take a chill pill. That's all I'm saying. Let's be a bit fair. Let's be a bit, considerate, at least.
And to fall in love and marry and be deceived for years is not a crime. Because of brand. Because of brand. Any small thing will sue you, take you to court. We'll take you to court, we'll sue you. It's like, you don't know. That's what everybody is using now to blackmail. Blackmail. And I'm not going to give anybody any clout. I'm not going to call your name. I'm not going to give you any clout. But my followers, my fans, they know what I'm talking about. Because at the end of the day, I'll come and complain. All that happens, they will just get famous. Nothing happens for you as the person who was victimized.
Yeah, I don't even know if I should talk about that, about the vendors that are really going wrong for her.
And as for people that are enjoying this, they're really getting a kick out of it. They're like, finally, she's getting it. This stupid little girl that thought she was everything. Now she's finally. For those of you that are on the side of the person who is stealing in broad daylight, for those of you, your reward will be exactly the same as the thief. All I'm trying to do is pay for a roof over my head, pay for a roof over my child's head, and have some peace while I breastfeed my 2-month-old. That's all I'm trying to do.
Okay, someone says, but why did Justin take the money in the first place? Is he the owner of the cash? Like, if you find money in your account, you would check where that money came from. You don't just see money and just take it. Because that's his own explanation, that he thought someone, I don't know, we are going to listen to him. But that story also, to me, it doesn't really add up completely. If I see some money in my account, I also have several accounts, at least my eyes will go to wherever, that money is coming from before I just start to transfer it. Money doesn't just appear in our accounts like that. They come from somewhere. You understand? Have you done business transactions with anybody to put $5,000 in your account and you just immediately transfer without looking at, we're going to get there. We'll listen to him.
It's basically family right now, so just to come here to vent. Once I vent finish, I close my mouth and move on with my life. Not be only me, they don't thief money from. So I just respect myself. For me, I cannot understand the kind of human being that is stealing from a woman with 2 children. Your own children.
Hi, Mommy.
Your own children. No.
Hi, Mommy. What do you like? What do you like?
Okay. Let me see comments.
Okay. It's 1,000 per post. Okay, you do the post. I don't like it. I want you to do another video showing this. This is not what you asked for. You just asked for this. I can't do this. This is not the price for this. Okay.
I don't get it. She keeps complaining about vendors. Like, for me, the problem is not, it doesn't have to be the vendors. You have to also protect yourself as an influencer. I think the problem here is that Korra doesn't know the business side of influencing. She's creative, but she doesn't know how to handle business. You need to make a proper agreement with your client before you go ahead and do a video. And I know it's more difficult with live videos than pre-recorded videos, because when you do pre-recorded videos, like this is my field in a way, if you do pre-recorded videos, you can always send it off to your client for review. And then based on what you guys initially agreed on, you can go back and work on it to that client's satisfaction. And then once you post it, you're sure that the client is okay with it. But when you're live, it's all based on your creativity. But before you go live, why not make proper agreements, state your clear terms and conditions before you go live. You don't just jump like, oh, I just received a gig, $1,000. I just go live and I'll just show my creativity and do my thing. What did you agree with that client? Didn't you ask properly? What exactly do you want? How would you want it? What kind of result would you want? Why is it always that it's when the job is done, you've already done your live, that you come back and start to complain? You've already complained. This is like the second time you're complaining about a vendor. It really means you're not business savvy. Maybe for me, I that is the way I think. That is the problem I think that is there. It's not like people are just thinking, okay, who do we scam today? Let us go and scam that single mother. She's vulnerable right now. We can scam her easily. And if people are even doing that intentionally, that means they see a loophole in your business. In your business, I don't know how to put that. So they already see that you're not business savvy. So you have to really incorporate that area also into it. Maybe hire somebody to handle that area for you, or like you said, just forget about influencing because you don't know how to do it well. You are creative, you can do it, but you're not looking at what the client wants really and really going for satisfying your client. That is what it is all about at the end of the day.
I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to go to all the. You are horrible. You are the task order of the day. And for someone to just be stealing in broad daylight, stealing because I mistakenly.
Exactly, Catherine. One thing about Korra, she's not specific, always talking short story. I think there's something. Okay, I don't know if there's some. I don't know if there's something fishy, but truly she's not specific. She's not. And possibly the reason she's not 100% specific is because she doesn't want to give away too much. Like she doesn't really, like she always says, I don't want to wash my dirty linen in public, but it's either you talk or you don't talk. You don't confuse people. You don't come up there and give half stories and people are wondering, okay, let's add one and one together. Maybe this, maybe that. That is what causes confusion. If you're ready to speak, come and tell the entire truth. Don't say, and then 1,000, and then she said, and then, it just narrate your story. Give the full story, or you don't give nothing at all. The way you came out last time and said, look, I'm not ready to talk. I will talk when I'm ready. Perfect. No one beat you up for that. It's your right. That is good. No one was confused. Everyone, okay, Korra is not ready to talk. Whatever news we have is coming from Justin. But now with these little short things, it's just confusing and it's not really, for me, I don't know. It's just, Let me see if I can fast forward. She's still doing her eyelashes.
That's the order of the day now. To threaten the living crap out.
Okay.
Living crap out of me with lawsuits and pay me my brand. That's what everybody's doing now. That's why I'm no longer promoting. No. Take your $1,000.
Which actually is a loss for her. Do you know how much you could be earning per week if 5 brands approach? If you're doing an excellent job at influencing, do you know how much you could be earning if you influence for 5 brands in a week? That's already $5,000. That is already your house rent for the month, and you work that a week. But you have to be willing to learn. You don't know the business side. You learn about it, or you just. For me, I find it unfortunate that she doesn't want to influence anymore. I don't think that's the solution. You don't throw in the towel. If things are not going well in a certain area of your career, you should either go in search of answers or hire people to do to solve that problem for you. I don't think only the vendors are the problem. I think also I don't know, the business, like I said, the business side of things are not clear. I think Korra's idea about influencing is, oh, I have 5 million followers. Any vendor that comes to me is just happy that I'm talking about them. No, babe. No, there are business people out there who know what they want. They have a vision specifically. And I find it also terrible that those vendors also maybe are not clear enough to you from the onset that this is what I want, this is how I want it. Because I would imagine that if they told you that clearly, that you would also go out there and deliver what they want. But I wonder what you guys talk about when you go into business deals. What do you guys talk about? Is it just, okay, send me the money, I'll mention your name? Like, that is what you guys talk before you even transfer anything to an influencer. You make it clear what you want. This is to vendors also. I've written a book about how to become an influencer in the past. I wrote that book last year or 2 years ago. These are things you make clear, you put it down on paper. Do you guys even have a contract? Or you just talk by phone and they just transfer money and just do whatever you want? That is just the wrongest idea. Don't think, oh, I have 10 million followers, and all these people, they just want me to mention their names. No, they want more than that. They want value. And if you're not giving them that value, they won't come back and they won't refer you. And it's bad market for you, because that is the idea people are going to have about you. And I really think, like I said, it's a loss for her to just give up on influencing. Really terrible. Yeah, terrible in that sense. I wouldn't do it if I were her. I think the answer would just be to hire people to handle the business, and she focus on the creative aspect.
Good. No more questions. I don't even understand how I am mother of children but stealing from children. Please, guys, pray for me. Pray for me, this America. I don't understand this.
Someone says, don't forget she lives in LA, and over there rate is very expensive, not like Europe. Yeah, that is very true. That is actually very true. But you know what it is? Even here in Europe, I could choose, Njoh could choose to go live in the center of Amsterdam in a villa with a swimming pool. I would be paying what she's paying, if not more. Must she live in LA if she cannot afford LA? I know she can afford it. That's why she's living there. Let's be honest. But let's stop complaining about the choices we have made. Must she live there if it's a problem? If rent there is a problem, if it's so expensive, oh my God, I can't handle this. Oh my God, I don't have the luxury. Oh my God, I need to pay my rent. We all have to pay our rent. At the end of the day, I cannot sit here and be complaining about my own life decisions. If I choose to live somewhere, I should be ready to face it. I shouldn't come and be complaining every day about it, if that makes sense. But that's why I also said, look, I know Korra can afford it. And that is why it's a bit contradictory, because on the one hand, you chose to live in a certain area. You know, you signed that contract with your landlord. You know you can pay for it. Then why always come on live to talk about not having the luxury? I have to pay my rent. Yes, it's life. You understand the point here? So, sis, Vinora, that we know it's expensive, but it's her choice to live in LA. It's her choice. So, yeah, we all deal with our choices. You understand?
Country anymore. I don't understand. I don't even know how this is legal. How is it legal?
Okay, someone says you don't need to ask for support as a good father before you support. Whether Justin supports or Justin doesn't support, those children will feed. You understand? You understand? And I'm sure the court is still, maybe the court might still order him to support somehow. But if he does or doesn't, they will feed. They will be well taken care of. Korra can afford to take care of them. At the end of the day, he should step up. He should be there. He should contribute financially. He made them with her. You know, she didn't bring those children alone into this world, and she shouldn't be left alone to cater for them. But if it's her choice to do so, let's not blame the man for it. You understand? And if he doesn't even give her one dime, she can afford. They won't go hungry. That's one thing I think I can almost be certain of, that they will not die or they won't go hungry. You understand? That's, I don't think they are that poor. I'm just being careful with my words, but I don't think they are so poor that she can't afford to feed the kids. Yeah.
Please pray for me.
Someone says marriages break up because of money. She didn't want to share her money with her husband. I've seen a lot of people write comments like this. And one thing I want to say is most women who marry for love, and I think she married for love, don't get me wrong. I think they both really loved each other. Most women who marry for love, no matter how rich they are, they want to share, they want to build together with their partner. Yeah. They have a joint account together. She could have opened her own account, but she didn't. She listened to him according to her story. I've not heard his side, but going by what she said, she didn't open her own account. Even if she could have, she had a joint account. That's not a woman who doesn't want to share. But most women refuse to share when they feel like, this man, you are not deserving, you are undeserving of me giving you my money. even if I were a millionaire, a billionaire, if that man doesn't treat me right, you're not going to get 1 cent from me. But when you treat me in a certain way, I feel loved. I'm going to be like, this is our money. Let's enjoy it together. That is the fun of it, you know? So we don't know what has been going on in their marriage. Like you said here, you said she didn't want to share. But what is the reason? What is the reason? 2 possible reasons. Either she's just naturally stingy, or the man didn't deserve her money based on how he was treating her. I'm not going to conclude on that because I was not there. But let us also be careful with concluding, because none of us, like, we weren't there. So, but there are 2 possible reasons. Either she's just naturally stingy, or he didn't deserve her money based on how he was treating her. So let's continue to watch.
How does this make up? Annoyance make up. This is what they call.
Okay.
Going to a light stretch.
Let's listen to Justin.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of.
Someone still asks, so because she has 5 million followers, Justin should steal from her? Abi, absolutely not. He shouldn't steal $1 from her. I just told you guys my story. I fought for 20 euros. I did 2. No, I did in total. I did 3 live videos. No, 3 videos about 20 euros. That 20 euros wasn't going to change my life, but it was about the principle. You as a company, you're going to refund my money. I have returned your product. You told me to send it back. I sent it back. Why are you withholding my 20 euros? I was earning 3,400 euros per month. 20 euros would not make the difference, but I just wasn't going to let them win on that. I wasn't going to let them take advantage of the fact that, oh, she's just a customer. She's just going to, no, I'm going to fight to the finish, because that is my money. You understand? You're not just going to slap me in my face and take my money as a company. So I fought for it. So it's not about us saying that, oh, just because she has 5 million, then he should steal. No, we are not saying that. Nobody should steal from anybody. You should fight for your money, even if it's $100, even if you're a billionaire, fight for your money. You understand? So let's not mix things. That's not what we are saying.
Accusations on here, and I can assure you that this will do nothing but look bad in a court of law. So we'll let a judge defend me.
So here is where it gets funny for Justin. Why didn't Justin go and solve his issues? Why? Okay, let me put it this way. Korra came out to call you a thief. Now you're saying you want the court to defend you. Then later you went and refunded the money, you returned the money. Oh God, there is something fishy. Why didn't you return the money before coming to say you want the judge? So why didn't you wait for the judge before you went and returned the money? Why did you go ahead and return? You guys, let's take this step by step. I just find it funny, tricky. You understand? Okay, let's listen to the rest of it.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
And he didn't want to talk about it. He just wants to wait for the judge to defend him. Then a few hours later, Korra went back on live and threatened him to come out and spill the beans. Then he ran and returned the money. Oh, why didn't you continue to wait for the judge to defend you? That is where I find it questionable.
In a court of law, this is just not good. Okay, all I have to say about it. My kids are first.
And he didn't want to talk about it. That's all I have to say about that. That's all I want to say about that. I will wait for the court, for the judge to defend me. And then later, he started showing how much he's making. The money has already been returned. It was a mistake. Why didn't you say all of that? Why didn't you even say it initially, like, oh, I saw all the accusations. There was a mistake. There has been a mix-up. I'm going to have it rectified and all of that. No, you didn't do that. You want to fight. You want to wait for the judge. You don't want to do anything. But immediately your ex started to threaten you that she was going to do something. Then you go back and return the money that you could have done initially. That is where I find it tricky and questionable, like I said.
Zero desire to defend myself about accusations and I'm here to educate you.
So why did you come back to defend yourself? Why did you go back to return the money? What caused the switch?
About common problems that occur with running, sprinting, and what people deem to be hamstring pain. And look at this beautiful environment right here.
Right.
Enjoy a beautiful environment.
I'll be right back.
Yes, it's a good question. Why would we want Airbnb homeless? Why? I'm sorry, you gonna say anything. My kids are first. I'm gonna participate in all this drama. Please watch the Johnny Depp person ended. Please come. Please come. I would like to know which of you that are putting negative comments first. Which of you are putting my kids first? Which of you are doing that? Because I am. This looks like a nice place. Oh, it's a nice place. You know that point in the ladder where the bar is surrounded by the hyenas, and I'm surrounded by idiots? That's how I feel like.
Okay, so I had to go somewhere. I'm back now. Let me see.
Beautiful environment. Yes, it's a good question. Why would we once Airbnb homeless? Why? I'm sorry, you're gonna say anything. My kids are first. I'm gonna participate in all this drama. Which of you are doing that? Negative comments first. Which of you are putting my kids first? Which of you are doing that? Because I am. This looks like a nice place.
Let me just fast forward.
Surrounded by idiots.
Oh my God.
I'm surrounded. You know that point in the ladder where the bar is surrounded by the hyenas, and I'm surrounded by idiots? That's how I feel like.
Okay.
Nothing about him, but I will talk now.
Okay, so after that video he did, she came back and did this video because she just realized, okay, now you want to be the quiet one. You know, the whole time Korra was serving him the silent treatment. Like, he was talking, saying a lot of things, feeding the blogs, and she was just quiet the whole time. And now that she came out to call him a thief, he wanted to do the reverse. He wanted to give her back her silent treatment, you know. So I think she wasn't going to have that. She felt like, okay, now let's bring it on. Then she came back and did this video.
If he thinks that this is just beginning, it is just beginning. I am going to speak. This will be the worst $5,000 he has ever stolen in his life. I'm going to speak now. I am going to speak because I have his children. I'm taking fantastic care of them.
Okay.
Cries out for sympathy, but what he did to you is even worse. People don't know, so you should shut up.
I'm not gonna keep quiet anymore, and I will come out with everything. I will come out with everything. I'm no longer mute. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk because he's taking advantage of this. He's taking advantage of this. He's taking advantage of the silence, and I'm not going to keep quiet anymore.
Okay. Someone asks, oh, Vinora still, do you have problem about her saying she doesn't have a luxury? Not really a problem with it. A problem is a big word. I wouldn't say I have a problem with it. I just feel like it might come across as a bit dishonest. Anyway, luxury is a relative term, so she knows what she means by I don't have the luxury, but a lot of people, anyway, look, it's not to attack her personally, but saying you don't have the luxury, there are also so many single mothers out there who don't have the luxury to stay in Santa Monica. That's why I said it's a relative term. But when you look at, okay, maybe the income, which we don't know, we can assume how much she could be making off of social media. And every time people are getting the impression of, oh, she's a poor single mom raising two kids all by herself. And then people are asking the question, is that really the case? Is she really that poor? So it's not really about having a problem with it. It's just, saying one thing and being another thing, possibly. Because a lot of people don't know who she is. A lot of people don't know what she is financially. We don't know where she stands. But the impression people have is that she's a poor single mom who is struggling and always talking about, she's just trying to make ends meet, just to put a roof over her head, just to, that's the idea that I really hope you can understand.
If he does not return that money by tomorrow, in the morning I will wake up and I will do a live and I will detail everything that he has done in this and what has led us here.
So I wonder what that thing is that Justin has done, all these things according to Korra. And it looks now, looking at everything that just played in the last 24, 48 hours, it looks like Justin doesn't want that story to come out, whatever it is. Because personally, if Justin had returned that money before all this drama, I would have felt like, oh, he just did what was right. But for him to have only returned the money after Korra threatened him to come and spill his dirt, that says a lot. He didn't do it initially. He said he wasn't going to talk about it. He wasn't going to respond. He was going to wait for the judge. And then when she came out to threaten him, he ran and returned the money and came and explained on top of it something he said he wasn't going to do. He came and explained that it was a mistake. So what is that story that she knows and he doesn't want her to talk about? That is the question.
I will do live and I will tell my story tomorrow if he does not send that money back.
He's now suffering because his money machine is gone, so he can't settle.
His money machine is gone. He's horse for the races.
Okay, I'm going to talk about that, but before then, let me take this comment. Someone says, but if really Korra actually has this luxury some of you always hammer on, then why is such luxury not showing in her life? That is a question only Korra can answer. There was a time when Justin said Korra is a millionaire, and of course she came out to indirectly debunk it, to say, maybe I have to start to show you people my bank account for you people to know really what's up. Maybe actually she really has to do that for people to really know. Like, it's really nobody's business how much this woman makes. It's really nobody's business how much BLESSINGNJOH makes or how much any of you make. But when stories become like this and people are doubting your credibility. People are doubting your honesty. People are doubting the words of your mouth. Your ex is saying that you are one thing and you want people to believe you are another thing. Maybe you should take that extra step. If you really respect your followers and people who believe you, maybe you should take that extra step to tell them why the supposed luxury is not showing in your life. A poor woman would not go and live in Santa Monica, trust me. For me to pay rent of, say, 200 euros, I should be sure I have 1,000. Do you guys understand? So you that are ready to pay 5,000 euro rent, it says something about your financial status. Let us just be honest about this thing. Only Korra can answer the question, why all of that luxury is not showing? Or is Facebook restricting payment for her? I can understand that Facebook is your job, you're always there live and you're not getting paid. And if you're getting paid, you're getting paid good money, because we know how Facebook pay, at least for those of us doing Facebook. I cannot say that much, but at least my someone says blessing, get water. I think I'm gonna go get water. My YouTube channel at least is monetized to know that much, a little, at least. So only she can answer that. I cannot tell why it's not showing on her, or why she doesn't want people to look at her as a rich girl, you know?
His slave.
And this money machine that the nanny and her talked about, yeah, because her money machine is gone. Or his money machine is gone. His slave is gone. And I'm like, see, okay, you guys know I've talked about coming to Analyse. She has done a few videos in the past that I've watched, but because of my health, I couldn't come to Analyse. There was a video she said where she explained that social media was always a problem. Her social media presence was always a problem in a way for Justin until she started to earn. He was always complaining about her doing this, doing that, spending too much time. And immediately she started to earn, then he wanted her to do more. So that was the point. She became a machine. She became a slave. But according to her explanation, that was only like 2 months ago, or 2 months before she gave birth to Athena, something like that, 2-3 months before. So why are they now making it sound like she has always been his money-making machine all these years? Whereas it's just something that happened like a couple of months ago.
He wants to get at me. Yes, he wants to get at me, but I will push back. I'm no longer keeping quiet. Thank you guys for all the strong woman, strong woman, strong woman. Thank you. I'm talking. This will be the worst 5,000, the last money he will ever steal from me again.
Oh, again. Again. She said again. In other words, he allegedly had stolen from her before. According to her, I cannot call him a thief based on that, unless she comes forward with proof, or he comes forward with, I don't know, whatever he has. But let us stop the culture of jumping to accuse or label people based on what one person says. Let us be careful. That's just the message I'm passing. It's not to discredit the person. It's not to discredit Korra. It's not to call Korra a liar. But Korra just said, this is the last time he's going to do it to me again. Indirectly saying he has done it before. But let us not jump to call him a thief because of what she said, unless she starts to really back her words with, hard evidence of, okay, he has done it before, this is it. Then we can, or I am going to come and put my title and say, Justin, you are a thief. But before then, bloggers, be careful with how you label people. Be careful. Be careful. Just be careful with the use of your words. At the end of the day, he is the father of those little children. So if you don't have proof, don't do it. Let Korra tell her story the way she understands it, the way she feels. But you bloggers, don't sell what you don't know for sure. Okay?
By tomorrow, if I don't see my money in my account, I'm going to come out and I'm going to spill everything from A to Z.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't feed you.
He does not. For someone that is not feeding me or my girls to still be stealing from us.
Now you should come up with what he wants. Actually, I told you he wants to see the kids. He's seeing the kids.
He wants to see the kids. He's seeing the kids tomorrow.
And then what does he want?
Okay, they said he's seeing the kids tomorrow, but he hasn't seen the kids in 6 weeks, according to Justin. But he will start to see the kids from tomorrow onwards. Let's just be clear on that.
Let him come up with what he wants. You will give it to him and then you will have this amount of seeing him cry.
I'm no longer crying. I'm gonna talk.
Okay.
I was gonna be quiet. I was keeping quiet. I was keeping quiet for my health, for my girls. I am breastfeeding. My child is 2 months old, barely.
Yeah, so this is another thing that really kind of got me. Like, yeah, she's breastfeeding, and a lot of people are not considerate about that. If for nothing, if you hate Korra, you find her, oh, she's so disgusting. Oh, she's this. Oh, she's that. Justin said this, Justin said that. Whatever you feel about her, please keep at the back of your mind that she has an infant that she has to feed from her body. Remember that before you will say anything about her. Remember that she might actually hear your words and it might affect her milk production. Just remind yourself of that. If nothing, no matter how much you hate her, no matter how much you want to say negative things about her, it's all good. But please, before you do, if you are comfortable with the fact that your words might actually affect a baby's feeding, then go ahead and say whatever you want to say. At least put that baby into consideration. The fact that she's breastfeeding alone should make you just human. Just remember that. Just remember, oh, Blessing says she's breastfeeding. So I want to say this thing about her. And this thing could potentially affect her feeding her baby. Am I okay with that? Would my conscience allow me to do that? If the answer is yes, go ahead and do it and let your conscience judge you. But if the answer is no, please just keep quiet or be nice. Even if you don't want to be nice, don't just say anything at all. You don't have to be nice to her, but don't say anything that could affect a baby in the process. Yeah?
2 months old. I am taking care of a newborn and a toddler by myself. I just had help not too long ago. This man is waking up to still. If he was a human being, I would be crying, but I know that I'm not dealing with a human being. I'm dealing with a monster.
Okay, Dan. Okay, so actually this is the first time we are going to be hearing Korra speak in this manner about Justin.
If he does not send that money back by tomorrow, evidence is going to be online.
Okay.
Of everything that he has been doing. I'm no longer keeping quiet. My name is already in the mud. Let us drag ourselves together.
Right. So she has evidence against Justin. And like I said, okay, so Justin came and did this video and he showed how much he earned last month. But before we get there, let's listen to his his last video after Korra threatened.
I want nothing more to spread than positivity in this world and education in this world. That is my mission. If my page gets dismantled, dislodged, and I get off of social media after this, I'm completely cool with it. But I'm making a moral, ethical stand for my daughters. I will not participate in this anymore. I participated in it for 2 weeks because I broke. I had a mental, emotional breakdown because I lost the thing that was dearest to me in my world, my intact nuclear family. Okay? That is all I have to say about this. Okay? I accept.
Okay, someone says no matter how much a woman earns, a little from the husband will always speak volume. That is very true. What if the woman doesn't want it? There is the possibility that Korra herself doesn't want his money. She doesn't want anything from him. Have you people considered that? I'm not saying that is the case, but there is that possibility. If Justin would refuse to step up as a dad, I would do a video against him. You didn't bring children into the world for a woman to raise all by herself. But if the woman chooses to do it all by herself, don't blame the man. Don't. The man is going to play the role that he can play. For example, he's going to make sure the kids have everything they need whenever they come over to his, because they have joint custody, right? Or I don't know how he explained. I think I saw a video and he was like, the kids are going to come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the rest of the week they are going to be with her. So they are both sharing. So the same way he would be spending on them, oh, okay, fine, they are going to be fully with her or more with her than with him. But what he would be able to do in such a situation, if the woman says, I don't need your money, would just be make the kids comfortable whenever they are with him. But you cannot beat him up when a woman says, in general terms now, I don't need your money. You understand? So we don't know for sure where that dynamics, where we can pinpoint it about money or support.
Evidently, not intentionally, was paying bills. I took money out of an account that I thought was my savings account.
Okay, you thought it was your savings account. I might be wrong. This is my opinion, and I am entitled to it. I don't see full honesty here. You understand? So you don't know how much you have in your savings account. You thought it was your savings account. All of a sudden, you need money and it's just that account. She made a mistake. You also made a mistake. Let's listen further.
Unknowingly, that another party had put money into it. And now you guys are all reaching out to me in a negative fashion, giving me threats.
Okay, he said, let's be careful here before we jump. He said he missed. Okay, let's listen again. I want to be very careful.
That another party had put money into it, and now I accidentally family. Okay? That is all I have to say about this. Okay? I accidentally, not intentionally, was paying bills. I took money out of an account that I thought was my savings account. Unknowingly, that another party had put money into it. And now you guys are all reaching out to me in a negative fashion, giving me threats.
When Korra explained, she said the account is now empty. That's her explanation, that the account has been emptied out, the joint account. And he is saying he thought someone put money in his savings account. So is his savings account like the oh my God, these people are just confused. Both of them, they're just confusing us now. You thought, oh, okay. Okay, you guys help me out here. Help me. What do you understand from this? Help me out. You thought you were transferring money from your savings account.
Some of you are threatening my life. Some of you are threatening my career. Okay? None of this to be on social media. Okay? I'm going to repeat this again. And here, I have 566,000 followers, mainly acquired through negativity. Has made me, in the last payout, paid out on April 19th, $27,000 and $445.93. I no longer participate in that negativity. And here.
Okay, you guys. So the reason my title on YouTube is different from the one on Facebook. I titled it, Can Korra Still Be Trusted? That reason, look, this is not just because of this thing that Justin put up here, this 27,000. I have always had that question at the back of my mind, but I never made it a point or an issue, because what Korra earns is nobody's business at the end of the day. But now he is now brought it out. So let's talk about it. That look, he has 500,000 followers and he made this much money last month. How much more someone who has 10 times the amount of followers that he has? And to be honest, Korra has not only more followers than Justin, she also has more engagement on her videos than Justin. That would automatically mean more money than Justin. So he is making this amount of almost 30,000. How much more Korra? But what's the point he was trying to make with this? I didn't really see how this had anything to do with the issue at hand. You thought it was your savings account you were paying from, and then you mistakenly paid money out of it. So how come the account got empty? I think the account was empty the way Korra said. Otherwise, Korra would have been able to transfer the money back to herself. You guys should really understand this. If you have a joint account, that means you also have access to that account. So Korra should have access to the account. So let's say now Korra mistakenly put $5,000 in the account. Justin withdrew the money from that account. And Korra realized, oh my God, I made a mistake. I put the money in the wrong account. Naturally, Korra should have access to that account to transfer the money back to herself. But I'm suspecting the reason Korra wasn't able to transfer the money back to herself was because the account was empty. So Justin, if you really thought you were transferring money from your savings account, how come that account you transferred money from became empty and it didn't shock you that, oh my God, my account is empty. My savings account is empty. Like, no, Justin, the story is not full, in my opinion. Because if that account didn't go empty after you removed that money, Korra would have still had that money inside and she would have still been able to transfer it to herself. But you emptied that account. So possibly that account, that joint account you both share, has no money in it. Has no money in it. Otherwise, Korra would just be able to take her money back, but she couldn't. So how come, if you thought it was your savings account, how come you weren't bothered that it was empty after you withdrew money from it? Like, there is just something about your story, Justin, in my opinion, and I'm not calling you a liar again, but it's just a bit, it's not clear. It's not just clear. It's not clear. So why also didn't you, because Korra, I don't know if I played that, where Korra said she reached out to him and he said something like, you have to pay back in gold. And she also wasn't very, very clear about the conversation, what he said exactly for us to be able to hold him. We cannot hold Justin as a thief. No, we cannot. But why didn't you, after she reached out to you, if she reached out to you, because you didn't mention here that she reached out to you, you didn't mention, you just said there was a mistake, bona fide mistake, and the money has been refunded. Why didn't you return it immediately? She raised alarm. Why didn't you refund it immediately? She reached out to you. Why didn't you refund it immediately after her first video? Why did you only refund it or return it after the second video? Those are questions that people would really like to know. Yeah. So I'm going to take more comments and get a few of what you guys think about all of this before we call it a day. Someone says a thief is anyone that takes what does not belong to them. Justin admitted a few hours ago that he said he had returned. But if you mistakenly take something, then you are not a thief. You understand? We can't call him a thief if he said he made a mistake. Although the way the story was passed, his story that he told, it doesn't really strike me like a real mistake. My opinion, though. But yeah, let's just be careful how we label him. Yes, he admitted he took the money. He said it was a mistake. But how do you make a like? Oh my God! If there is $5,000, dude, like, I don't even know how to explain this for you guys to understand. So does it mean he doesn't have any money in his savings account? Because after he withdrew the money, whichever account he withdrew the money from, that account went empty. It was zero. Although we still need proof if everything is true, but for Korra to come and cry out, that means she didn't have any money to transfer back to herself. So she came out and was frustrated. So that money, that account he took money from was empty. It was zero. Why didn't he ask himself, oh my God, I just withdrew money from my savings account and now it's empty? That's where he should have asked himself, how come? Or it's also possible that he doesn't even have any savings, that he doesn't have any money at all in his savings account. If that is the case, and all of a sudden he wakes up one morning and he finds $5,000 in his savings account, bro, I would check, where is this money coming from? Why didn't he do that? These are questions, critical questions you guys should ask him. Oga, do you have money in your savings account? The account you took money from, when you took that money, was it empty afterwards, or was money still left behind there? These are questions that you guys need to ask. And why did you later return the money? Why didn't you do it earlier? Why did you wait for her to threaten you first? So these are the areas that just make me feel like there is just something fishy about the mistake, in quote. It was a mistake. That's just where I feel like, yeah, you can call it what you want to call it. Bottom line is Korra has achieved, I don't know, she hasn't really come out to confirm, but he says that he has returned the money. Question now is, what has this money he showed, his earnings on Facebook, what has it got to do with him stealing or not stealing? What point was he trying to make with this? I think it was just, he wanted people to know that Korra really, really has a lot of money. Oga, the fact that Korra really, really has a lot of money doesn't give anybody the right to take what doesn't belong to them, to take from her. You can beg her to give you money. She can give you free willingly. She can give you 10,000, 100,000, but don't take it dubiously. So I think he was just indirectly trying to prove that Korra is making way more money. So why is she crying over 5,000? That is what I think he wants to prove with this. Oga, Korra should cry over $1 because it's her sweat. It's what she worked for. Nobody should take it through the back door. So it's her right to come and cry for her money that she worked for. So whoever is going to run out and start to say, oh, Korra, you're crying because of this. Yes, she should cry because it's her money and she worked for it. Let me see. Okay. Someone says, he said he's not allowed to communicate with her, not even text. Honestly, she's full of trauma. Honestly speaking, they both made the money together. Why calling the father of his kids? Okay. Okay. He said they're not allowed to communicate, but she said she sent him a message and he answered her allegedly and said, you have to pay me back in gold. That means he communicated with her allegedly, according to her. That's where that proof comes in, that people really have to start to show proof. You guys taking sides, you're on a long thing. You're taking sides with Korra. You're taking sides with Justin. You don't even know what you're taking sides with. You don't even know these people until they come and prove themselves that they are telling the truth. He is saying he's not allowed to talk to her, but she said she talked with him and he responded. Who do we believe now? Let's see proof that there was communication or there was no communication. Do you guys understand? So if they don't communicate, how then is he able to see the kids? Anyway, he can see the kids through a mediator or whatsoever, through a middleman. So that's not really. So we don't know. You guys should be careful with taking sides. Team Korra, Team Justin, be careful. And it's wrong also for you guys to go and start to attack him and threaten him. Maybe all those threats her fans gave him also contributed to him running to go and return the money. We cannot fully know the truth. I love to see facts and proof and evidence before I can conclude on anything. But we can just talk about things, but let us not be too sentimental and emotional and attacking people. Let's take it easy. That's just, what I'm trying to say here. Okay, I'm quickly going to rush through comments if I can. I don't know if I can. Before we go, how long we've been here for an hour and a half. I don't want this video to even go beyond an hour and a half. I am still going to come back because I have something to do. So I really have to go, but I will come back and do another part to this. I'm going to continue, but for now, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to read your comments once I leave here. I want to thank you for your contributions. Very, very insightful. Many of you really dropped great points. Please let us use our brains. Let us be sharp. Let us be smart. Let us not let our emotions push us into doing or saying things that we shouldn't do or say. Let us consider that people are involved and that children are involved. If you really love June and Athena, you wouldn't go and be doing what you're doing, threatening Justin, and if you really love June and Athena, you wouldn't also go bashing Korra. Consider those children, put them first, the same way their parents put them first. Nobody you love Korra and Justin pass. You understand? You guys should take it easy. Talk about what you see on social media, but be careful with labeling people based on what one person said, based on what Korra said, or based on what Justin said. Be careful. I'm going to leave it here. Once again, thank you for your contributions. Go ahead and like and follow my Facebook page if you're new here. If you're watching this video on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to be back with part 2. I'm so sorry I have to leave in this manner, but I really got things to do for now, and I will really, really be back to do another one. Thank you again, and I will catch you guys on my next one. Bye. Oh, I didn't even end.